our session that's taking place today. We are going to be discussing the programs that Humber offers in relation to IT. So to get started, I want to get started as quickly as possible because we have some great panelists that are here today, and I want to be able to get and dive as deeply into those programs as possible. So I'm going to be doing a quick overview, and with that, there's a video that's going to play for a few seconds.
Bring your talent, drive, and all that makes you, you to Humber, and we'll prepare you to reach your full potential. Apply now at humber.ca/bringit. We are Humber.
And this is just a
Bring your talent,
this is just a quick video that shows our new campaign about bringing it. So sort of bring all that you have, your skills, your previous credentials to Humber, and we'll sort of take you to that next level. So where are we located? We are located in Toronto. We have 3 campuses. Our North Campus is at Highway 27 in Finch. Our Lakeshore Campus is near Kipling and Lakeshore. And we also have a downtown IGS campus as well. All campuses are accessible by TTC, the Toronto Transit System, and also accessible by highways and byways, etc. So when it comes to our campuses, we're going to be focusing on 2 campuses today. Our North Campus is our largest campus. It has about approximately 21,000 full-time students. This campus has residents. So those are our residents over here for about 1,000 students. And one of the things I love about this campus is our 250-acre parkland, which is called the Humber Arboretum. And you can see this over here. So again, this is a great space to be in the summer. Even in the winter as well. It's just absolutely gorgeous that you'll be able to sort of you're in the city and have this space where you can just be part of nature. So it's a great space. So if you do plan on coming to the North Campus, be sure to sort of take advantage of that. Next is the Lakeshore Campus. So the Lakeshore Campus is at Kipling and Lakeshore. This campus has about residents for 400 students, and there's about 12,000 students at this campus. One of the things I love about this campus is the walk to the lake. So as you go down the path, you can there's a spot that opens up and you can see downtown Toronto from it, and you can see the whole skyline of downtown Toronto. So just a beautiful, beautiful spot to be. So both campuses you can see are quite beautiful, but they have their own vibe to them and they have their own feel to them. But again, both campuses are excellent. So some quick facts about Humber. So we have close to 30,000 full-time students at Humber, but we also have over 300,000 Humber alumni as well, right? So whether it's here in Canada or elsewhere, we have over 300,000 alumni. We offer 200 plus full-time programs in 17 areas of interest. We have 150 pathways from our Ontario graduate certificates to master's programs at partner institutions, and more than 45% of incoming students have previous experience or education, so similar to those who are on the call today. So what do we offer? We offer different types of credentials, right? So with 200 programs, they're not all in the same credential. So we have 1-year certificates, 2- and 3-year diplomas and advanced diplomas, apprenticeships, and these can be 2 to 5 years in length, depending on the trade. We offer 4-year honors bachelor's degrees, and we also offer 1 to 2-year Ontario graduate certificates, and this is what our focus of this presentation is going to be today. So I went on our website and just searched, filtered by Ontario graduate certificates, and you can see we have over 55, close to 55, and we're always adding more and adjusting the programs, based on trends, et cetera, to offer the most diverse types of credentials, Ontario graduate certificates, but making sure that there's a need for those programs as well. All right, but today we're going to be focusing on a few different programs here. And these are the programs that we are going to be focusing on. Unfortunately, I just got word from the faculty from Business Insights and Analytics. There's a family emergency, so we won't be able to make it today, but we do have our other panelists that are here, and I'm looking forward to sort of getting to know them and working with them through this session. So to start it all off, what I'm going to do, I'm going to maybe start off with Kevin. Kevin, with question number 1. Can you maybe introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and the program you're going to be representing today?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin Ramdas, and I am the program coordinator of the Wireless Telecommunications Graduate Certificate. The Wireless Telecommunications Graduate Certificate is a 1 year or 8 month, 2 semester program. And what we do is we focus on building hands-on skills so that students can enter into the wireless telecommunications industry to support in terms of maintenance of a telecom network or the design and build of it or any sort of radio frequency network or fiber optic application within the telecom industry.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Imran, I'm going to go to you next. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your program?
Sure. Thank you, Risha. Hi, everyone. My name is Imran Mohammed. I am a professor and a program coordinator of a cloud computing graduate certificate program. This is a 2 semester program with January, May, and September intake. To be eligible for this program, a candidate must possess diploma, advanced diploma, or a bachelor degree in information technology. This program prepares the students to become an integral part of cloud development and operation. In this program, students are exposed to everyday business challenges, to develop experiences in the area of virtualization, containerization, infrastructure as a code, application programming, DevOps, and cloud security. I welcome you to this session.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Teresa, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about the program you're representing today?
Yes, thank you, Risha. Hello, everyone. My name is Parisa Pulatzadeh. I'm a faculty and program coordinator of AI program, which is a postgraduate certificate at Humber College. In this program, actually, we have 2 semesters in this program. We will have 3 intake, January, September, and summer. And from September, we may have online intake as well, and it's available in the website. You can see that. In this program, people with student actually with background in computer will join, and then they will learn. It's a 2 semester. At the first semester, they will learn about the basic knowledge of data analytics, machine learning type, and project management skills. So we will prepare them for the second semester, which they will have different area of machine learning. So each courses will deliver in in-person format, and you will have learn lots of information about different area of machine learning. And also we have a project which is the collaboration with the industry, so you will have some hands-on experience in AI and machine learning models, and then you can prepare your student can prepare actually themselves for the job that they are looking for.
Perfect. Thank you. And Francis, welcome. Can you introduce yourself and the program you're representing today?
Hi, my name is Francis Sims, and I'm the Associate Dean for the department for all of these programs. And so I'll be here to sort of fill in the gaps with any questions that can't be answered by our expert panel here. And I think some of them might have to drop to run the class at some point. So yeah, I'm so happy that you're all joining us today. Thank you.
And will you be talking about the enterprise program?
Oh, yeah, I guess, sorry, Professor Ravinder Kaul isn't here right now. Yeah, so I'll be talking about the enterprise software development 1-year graduate certificate and the IT solutions 2-year graduate certificate programs. And so both the IT solutions graduate certificate program starts off with a 1-year where it really focuses on bringing people from very little technical skills up to a level where they need to be capable and to work in the IT space in the workplace. So it's a rich and wonderful program. We also have a 2nd-year version that's a 1-year version where students that already have a lot of the technical skills are able to enroll directly into that particular program as well. So in that program, we have lots of different streams about learning Java, learning mobile, learning the different technologies that are associated with IT programming and systems design and operations. So yeah, that's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Great. So I'm going to start, Francis, I'm going to start with you for question number 2. The ideal candidate and key attributes. So for these programs, who's the ideal candidate and what key attributes should they possess to be successful, not only in the program, but also when they go out and start working in the industry?
So what we're looking for both of these programs are people that have an existing credential, a bachelor's or an advanced diploma. It doesn't necessarily for the IT solutions program, it doesn't necessarily need to be technical. And in fact, we have many people that have completed a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science in another institution and have decided, Bachelor of Health Administration, or decided that they're looking to transfer in to the IT space. So this is a wonderful program for people that are looking to, maybe you're focused in health or in justice, and you decide that, getting those additional technical skills is really going to give you that edge so that you're competitive in the workplace, right? And you're able to now, enable things, take on things like AI technologies and factor in cybersecurity into the decisions. And so it's a really innovative program in the sense that we're looking to help transform people that want to, potentially switch from non-technical fields into technical fields. Mm-hmm. That at the same time, we have amazing options for students that already have the technical background, maybe a computer science background, an engineering background, an applied mathematics background. And so the beautiful thing about these two programs is that there's an opportunity for people that have existing technical skills to sort of be fast-tracked into the programs, and people that have, less so, an opportunity to build and grow those skills here at Humber.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Parisa, can you tell us for the AI program, who's the ideal candidate and what are some key attributes they should have to be successful in the program and also when they start working in the industry?
Yeah, thank you. It's visible. So actually, for this program, we need at the beginning, as a tech part, if I want to talk, we need this strong background in math and programming, and specifically Python programming can help the student to engage and find their ideal job at the future. But beside that, we need some skills. We can talk as soft skills, maybe like, for example, analytical thinking and problem solving. It means that the students need to explore and find the solutions for different type of project that they may have. But because AI, every time we will have updates, and you will see that in quickly we will have different aspect of AI, and we can see them in our daily life. So curiosity and lifelong learning is really important because we need to explore and be adapt with emerging AI technologies. And also I can add adaptability and creativity, because with these updates that we have during the years, we need to prepare ourselves every day, I can say. So to adapt with the technology and the creativity that we need to design these models will help students. So it's not just we can say that, okay, we're done with these models. No, if we have to explore, we have to find the solutions, and then we need to adapt ourselves to design a new models every day. I think that will help the student.
Thank you. And I think that's important to share so that when it's not just the technical piece, but some of those other pieces as well.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Imran, can you tell us a little bit more about who the ideal candidate is for the cloud computing program, and what do they need to be successful?
Sure. Thank you. My ideal candidate would be someone who has some IT background, more specifically in software development, and a little bit knowledge around operating system and then networking in terms of their technical skills. And then also equally important are soft skills, someone who has a passion for problem solving, someone who is a keen interest in programming, exhibit system level thinking, and display sort of enthusiasm for learning new technologies. Equally important are strong communication and collaboration abilities, because a lot of the stuff or activities that we do within this program involves projects, group activities, and as well as working on a major course projects. So someone with a programming and someone with all-around technical skills in operating systems and as well as networking would be great, and along with the soft skills. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. And Kevin, can you tell us more about the ideal candidate for wireless and how they can be successful in the program and in the industry?
Right. Yeah, thank you. So for the wireless telecommunications program, to get into the program, generally you need an existing credential that's engineering related. However, as you come into the program, we start from the basics. So you don't necessarily need a strong technical background other than your engineering credential after you get in. We'll start from the beginning of networking, the beginning of programming, the beginning of radio frequency. So that really what you need to do is have a great want to learn. And if you have that, then the wireless program can prepare you to enter into the telecom industry and also provide a platform for you to go into other programs, because it really builds everything from the basics and works its way up into different expertise. The outcome of the program is that there's so many different types of jobs that you can get out of the program. So then when you're looking about personal attributes, really it's the willingness to learn, because afterwards you can work in the field, you can work in front of a computer, you can work project management, you can work there's so many different ways that you can use the diploma or the certificate to prepare your career. So the attributes really are just about learning and wanting to learn.
Great, thank you. And Kevin, I'll start with you for the next question. Can you tell us what makes your program different from other programs at other institutions?
There's only maybe one or two other institutions that offer a program like this, maybe in the world. And it's a very unique program that allows you to enter into the wireless telecommunications industry. We are the oldest and most established of all of the programs. And so we've got thousands of graduates at a whole bunch of different throughout Canada that have learned from us, and they are tied to the program. So we've got a very large network of students of graduates that will help our current students in finding a way in life, and a lot of mentors that are out there.
Great, thank you. Imran, how does our program at Humber compare to others?
So when I compare this program with the other colleges or universities, I find that the majority of the colleges and the university, their programs are either focused on the software development or the cloud administration. And compare that to this cloud computing program. When we were designing this program, we wanted to bridge the gap between the cloud development and the operation. So which means cloud administration and the software development were the central point of this program when we designed it. So the program focuses on how to build and deploy softwares using modern cloud technologies. So which means the program exposes students to infrastructure code, modern services, and the way we structure the program is first semester is structured in such a way that it builds all the foundational skills. Think of a Lego blocks. And then in semester 2, we focuses on the actual cloud part of it, where the students are exposed to AWS, Microsoft Azure, or Google Cloud platforms. And then on top of that, we leverage a lot of the programming languages such as Python or the structure or the infrastructure programming languages such as Terraform and Ansible. So combination of software and cloud, it was what makes this program unique compared to some of the other programs.
Great. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. And Parisa.
Yes, I can say at the first, I can say that actually the curriculum and specialization of this program is really important, and it can cover different aspects of AI, like natural language processing, computer vision, robotics, ethical, that the student will learn in the first semester. So it's a package that the student can come and learn different area, then they can choose in which area they love to work, and they can actually have a goal for their career. But beside that, also we have some hands-on project and real world application that is a collaboration with industry. Student will have a real project experience with industry. They will learn lots of at the beginning we have some interviews, so we are preparing their LinkedIn. We are teach them actually how to prepare their LinkedIn account, how to prepare their resume, to prepare themselves for the interview. Then they will apply for different projects. It's like they are applying for a job, and then this industry will interview with them, and then so they will pick one of the project and work on that. So this will be a really good actually experience for a student. Also, I can add the faculty expertise. So most of our faculties are having industry experience, research collaboration, and most of them are working on ongoing projects in AI. So they are updated and they can teach students the edge of technology in AI that nowadays we have. We have research opportunities in Humber College. Humber College has a big area of research, office of the research actually, and we could hire some students that they can have some collaboration with the research that will be really good for their career also. And the last I can add the global perspective and diversities, because for the capstone project also we gather project with some international companies as well, so we can understand what different industries are working on that, and the student can learn the project that they are ongoing in different countries as well.
Okay, perfect, great. Francis, over to you.
Yeah, so the program, the IT Solutions program and the ESDV program are really unique offerings in Ontario and across the country. I think it's rare you're going to find another program where the students have the opportunity to really follow their passion in the IT space. If I take the IT Solutions program to start, the first semester you begin with an operating systems course, a Java programming course, web programming, database and SQL. So you learn the foundation associated with all those languages. You're learning like the hardcore Java, but at the same time you're learning about Python. Right? And we hear about Python all the time when we talk about machine learning and everything else that's related to the internet. And then you also have a requirement analysis and process modeling course, which really helps you to understand, you know the technology, but how do you put it all together? In the second semester, you then learn a little bit more about JavaScript and XML, and then you have the opportunity to stream right into areas that you're passionate about, right? That area maybe you want to be a database person, you want to be a database admin, and so you take the next few semesters you focus on database courses. And although we don't necessarily restrict which courses you can take in a given semester, we encourage the students that say you want to be a database expert. This semester, you should take database foundations. Next semester, you take advanced database. Maybe you want to learn about machine learning, or you want to learn about big data. Maybe you want to be a web programmer. You're going to do the next great app that's going to make $1 gajillion. The nice thing about this program is that this is a home for people that aren't sure exactly where they want to go, and gives them the opportunity to explore that, right? You could try a couple of courses in one area. If you don't like it, you can go back. I think it's rare across the country where you're going to find. One of the wonderful things about Humber is that we have this program has been around for a long time. It's very mature. The breadth is huge. So it means there's lots of opportunities for students. There's lots of students in this program, so it means we have lots of sections in lots of different subjects, and sections that accommodate your schedule. Right? So it's really a really wonderful opportunity for you to come in and play and get to know who you are in the IT space. And then to add on to what some of our other colleagues had mentioned. You have professors that are teaching in the AI program or in the cloud computing program that are also teaching in this program. And we're family at Humber in terms of the faculty, and we like to make sure that when you're learning machine learning in this program, that it's up to the same standards and quality level that you might if you were in the AI program, right? So no matter what program you choose, you're going to get high quality courses from people that are leading in terms of research across the country.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
Next question is, what are some of the myths or misconceptions that you're seeing or hearing about when it comes to the program and or the industry? Or the industry.
Can I start with that?
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things that we see, especially in this particular program that I'm speaking about, is students feeling like they need to have a technical background to enter into the space. Right, that the IT world is too complex. I didn't do Python in high school, so I'm done for. I can never do that again. Our job here at Humber is to try to make these subjects and these topics, and particularly in this program, accessible to all types of learners. Learners that have technical skills who can jump right in to maybe Java level 3, and learners that don't know the foundations, and we need to start there. So one of the things that we find, with many of the programs across the country like this that call themselves IT solutions, is that the other programs don't support students from different backgrounds, right, coming in. They focus on really students that have a particular type of experience and education. The beautiful thing about a place like Humber and in this program is that all those different experiences, when you bring them in, you learn from each other, right? And it's a way to innovate and to sort of bring ideas forward. So I think it's really a cool environment and ecosystem. And I think that's one of the myths that are out there, is that you need to be a technical whiz kid before you even start.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Teresa.
Yes, actually, AI program is new at Humber, so I don't have that much meat that I can add, but something like that I can add about just AI, that some people thought that AI is just for computer scientists, and those people can join, for example, for AI, as actually Francis mentioned, but we can say that people with different background that are working on AI project, we can come from ethic part, we can come from engineering part, we can come from neuroscience knowledge. So different people with different backgrounds are involved in machine learning models, and they are working on that. So it's not just specifically for computer scientists.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. That's good to know. Imran, what about the cloud computing program and or that field? What are some of the myths or misconceptions?
So one misconception that the students and the industry professionals have about the cloud computing program is that it's a sort of a cloud administration program, similar to you see many of the industry certifications offered by major cloud service providers. Rather, the focus of this program is cloud-based solution development and deployment. Many bad things happen because of the COVID, but one good thing happened because of the COVID is the IT world moved to the cloud. So which required many organizations to think about how their applications needs to be deployed, because traditional applications that we were used to was click on start button and you open up a software. But rather than now, the applications are all deployed in the cloud as a microservices based type of based on microservices architectures, which means applications runs in the cloud. So part of this program is that we focus in that area where basically building cloud-based solutions and deploying them in the cloud environment rather than the cloud administration, which is click here, click there. So that's not the focus. The focus is building solutions in the cloud, leveraging the cloud services.
And thank you for that, because you do see a lot of, even on Facebook and different places, you see ads for some of these. So it's actually good to know what the differences are, not just from the full-time programs, but from some of these other part-time programs as well. So thank you for that. And Kevin, can you tell us maybe for the wireless telecommunications program and field, what are some of the myths and misconceptions that you're seeing?
Yeah, so one of the major misconceptions that we see in the for students entering the telecommunications program is that they think that it's very, very heavy in physics and math, where really we are just using the applications of the physics and math. And so the calculations and math requirements, it's good for you to understand. However, you can get through the program without having to do an integral or differentiation through it. The program is it starts from the basics, and because of that, students can come in with whatever engineering-like background to enter into the program, and it helps you develop skill sets in operating systems and networking and radio frequency and fiber optics, and eventually we learn about wireless systems and protocols. And so overall, it's starting from scratch, and it really it allows students to grow with the program.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that. And that's great to know, as someone who's out there talking about our programs, to know that if someone asks that, no, it's fine. You don't have to, it's not that, you can start from the basics and sort of move up with that program, which is great. I'm going to skip this one, but maybe let's talk about the delivery mode and flexible options that are available. Can you speak to that for the wireless program?
Certainly. So all of our courses, the program is very hands-on and lab-based. So then there's a requirement to be in person for labs. And so right now, every technical course that we have in the program consists of a 2-hour lecture and a 2-hour lab. And so then there's a theoretical part to it, and then a lab part to it. Overall, we try to make their schedule as easy as possible so that you can do other things other than schooling. So anything you need to do to support yourself. However, when we look at it overall, the more time that you can focus in on studying, the better you learn, and the better outcomes you have out of not only the wireless program, but every single program that we have anywhere.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. And Imran, can you tell us more about the delivery mode and any flexible options that are available for your program?
So my program, as the name says, it's a cloud computing. So we are not tied to the labs. We are not tied to the infrastructures. So the way the program is being delivered is being delivered in person and as well as online. So you can take the program in person if you like to come in and attend classes, or if you live in GTA area. If you are out of the GTA area and you are interested in the program, you can opt for the online option, completely delivered online. Then you can pursue your postgrad as a full-time or a part-time. So it's quite flexible. Now I like to add a few things to the online option. The online option is you can take it part-time, and also the way we structure the online program is that we offer the program in the evening hours. So if you are working professional, or if you got a family obligations, you can take the program in the evening. So the classes, we try to keep our schedule between 3:30 to 10 p.m. So which means it is flexible for working professionals for you to carry your professional duties as well as continue with the education and pursue your program.
That's great, actually, because we're seeing a lot more people who are looking to come back, who are working professionals. They don't want to quit their jobs, but still want to be able to study. And one question, Imran, is: are the online delivery, is it synchronous or asynchronous?
So the online option, it is synchronous, but we do record our lectures and labs, so which means the students have the option to watch them at their own pace. So both options are really available, but the classes are delivered in synchronous fashion. So where you have the opportunity to ask questions from your professors and engage with them in real time.
Great, thank you. As someone who took online learning a long time ago and failed miserably at it. The fact I love synchronous online courses, so it's good to have both options, which is great. And Parisa, tell us more about the delivery mode of the, I think you mentioned it briefly before, but about the AI program and the flexible options that the program has.
Yeah, thank you, Risha. Actually, it's very close to a cloud computing program, but so far we have just in-person program because we started just last year. This program is new, so we have in-person option for a student, and but from September actually we will have online session as well, so student can check on the website. It's available for the admission, but it's for domestic student. It's not available for international students so far, and we are trying to keep scheduling as flexible for, again, those students or candidates that they are working, and we try to keep them in the afternoon to have more engagement on that as well.
Perfect, thank you. And Francis, should I go to Ravinder Paul for this one? Okay, great. So Ravinder Paul, can you tell us a little bit more about the delivery mode and flexible options for the programs you're representing today? You're on mute.
Hi, everyone. Sorry for joining late. So I'm the program coordinator for the Information Technology Solutions, which is a grad cert. The delivery mode for this is currently it is 100% in person, but we are exploring the options of offering a few courses as a virtual virtual mode, means an online with a asynchronous, not an asynchronous, but synchronous mode. So it means, but the lectures will be recorded for that. And because the reason is why we are not able to offer in this way, then there are two reasons. Number one, we are expecting the students don't have an IT background, and hence they have to switch to an IT. As a result, they need more help. So when you are in class with the faculty, you can get a basically a help right away, and can be addressed easily. So that's the one reason which is keeping us still it is in person. But we are planning moving forward having some courses offered in the virtual mode.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And Francis, did you have any pieces to add?
No, I think the only thing I would say is just that we're very focused on providing flexible modes of delivery. And I would imagine by next fall, we will have some sections that will be online, to Ravinder Paul's point. The website does not necessarily reflect that yet. But what we do realize is that students, the student experience, especially in the first semester, can be overwhelming. And providing those options to those students is really helpful. And that's what we're planning to do. We're trying to be very careful to make sure that the material that we really believe the student needs to be in person for is done in person, and the other things we're focusing on trying to move a lot of that online to make it more accessible.
Okay, great. And Parisa, I know you have to go, so maybe I'll start with Francis for this one.
Okay, sure.
And it's about placement
so
opportunities. No problem. Thank you so much. And it's about placement opportunities, or will work integrated learning opportunities within the programs.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer it on behalf of the AI program. I'm going to answer it a little bit more broadly, if that's okay with you.
Yes,
so the way it works with our graduate certificates, right, the four that we're talking about today, is we do not do a will component in terms of putting a student in a placement at a company, nor do we do co-op, but we do something that we actually think is better, right? For our graduate certificate students, the expectation is that they're a little bit more mature, that they're able to, that they have the basic skills that demonstrate that they can work with others, right, in an office setting and in sort of a project setting. And so what we focus on instead is doing capstone projects with our students. And in that situation, all of these four programs have capstone courses. And what we do is we help to identify industry partners that have a problem that needs to be solved, right? And then we pair a group of students with that particular partner to solve that problem. And what we find is that's a very meaningful way for the students to actually get real hands-on experience. Because often what we find is students that go on to WIL or co-op in these programs don't actually get challenged at the level that they need to be challenged at, right? And so we're doing them a disservice. And so we've decided that if we partner them with an industry partner and we're there along the way as faculty and administrators to help them to deliver a high quality, successful product, that's something that they're proud of, right? Sometimes our students take those projects and they transform them into some startup idea, right? Build an app. We will see a lot of these projects have turned into apps on the Google Play or the Apple Store, right? Or their partners have taken it and actually used it in the workplace and then subsequently hired that student, right? And those partners then become references. And because of the way we curate that experience for the student, typically with co-op or WIL, the student will go to the workplace and then we lose the ability to support and to help direct the type of work that they're doing. In this situation, it's much more meaningful. It's much more work for Humber and our Humber faculty, right? There's many late nights and weekends spent trying to meet with partners and students. But what we deliver is something that the students are usually proud of. And anybody that's interested can look on the LinkedIn for Humber and see pictures of lots of our capstone events where the students are showcasing the great work that we do. So that's how we actually address the WIL component in these programs. And then obviously, when the students graduate, we have a pool of industry partners that we're working with, right? And those industry partners know they've come in. So maybe four students are working with one partner, but when they come to the showcase event, they have the opportunity for all partners to come and see the work that they've done. And so that's like a mini, that's even better than a job fair because they're able to showcase their work and the partners are able to see firsthand the types of skills that they have. And then very often those students are then asked to go and work in those companies or invited to interview. And they're pre-qualified because the industry partner has actually seen what they can produce.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And I guess maybe for the others on the panel, if you can maybe speak to some of the partners that we work with. Francis, I'm not sure if you're aware of any for AI.
Unfortunately, not offhand.
Mm-hmm.
I would be prepared, but I'm sure the rest of the team might have some things they can offer up.
Okay. Anyone? I'll just leave this open. Anyone has maybe some ideas of like some of the partners we've worked with for capstone projects that if anyone
let me just say one thing that's happening. I know with AI and with our program coordinator, Parisa, who's now had to leave. She's working with Farley, who's one of the leading Canadian music producers, right? And she's doing applied research, and students are doing work with this partner, and they're developing solutions leveraging machine learning to help artists that are more disenfranchised, right, or marginalized, right? So not only are we solving technical problems, but our students have the opportunity to solve real world social problems. And one thing I didn't mention in that is we don't do traditional placements, but what we do is a lot of applied research. And there are opportunities for the students as they come in, especially the students that are ambitious and doing well, to participate in the applied research in a paid setting where they're hired as a research assistant right at Humber. And so that's a big part of what we do with the students, right? Because we try to give our students the opportunity to get the experience any way they can. Okay, I'll stop there.
Thanks. Anyone else wants to add? Maybe Ravinder Paul, did you want to add something?
Yeah, so means in terms of partners, means what kind of partners? Actually, when in my program, students do this capstone project in the 4th semester. But in the 3rd semester, they basically work in a group, means they develop their group, and then they are given the opportunity. They should find the company for which they would love to work. So it's not assigning a project or assigning a company. Let's say you want to work with the TD Bank. Yes. Okay. So then we will work with you to find a contact at the TD Bank, and then you can if they can provide us a capstone project, then that's what the model I'm working on. That is in the third semester, they work with the faculty or industry liaison person to go out and communicate with the company and see if they can find a capstone project with the company of their interest where they would love to have a future career or their job. So
Okay.
that's how. So it means I have lots of basically current companies which we are working with, but always we try to go with the sponsors or the companies with which the students want to work with.
And
So
let me just add
you
to that if I
mentioned.
can. Sorry, Rishi,
Mhm.
I just want to follow up. So a good example of what Ravinder is saying is Google, right? We've had a number of
Okay.
students that say they want to work at Google. They would love to work at Google. Everybody wants to work at Google. And so what we do as the faculty and MIN team is leverage our personal relationships and networks, because the idea of the faculty here at Humber is that not only do we do the research and the academic part, but we're tied to industry. That's the beautiful thing about being a large polytechnique like Humber. And so in that situation, I was able to leverage, a colleague of mine who is a director at Google to come in and to help find an appropriate capstone project. That's the kind of stuff that we do as, in terms of extra mile here at Humber.
Okay, great, perfect. All right. So next, I'm actually going to maybe start maybe with Kevin, and let's talk about graduate employment. So can you tell us a little bit more about any KPI stats you have where students are finding employment after they've completed the program? Are they usually finding part-time or full-time employment? And any information you may have on payment and how much they're getting paid?
Yeah, so with respect to the graduates from the Wireless Telecommunications program, we've got a very, very big set of students that are out in industry, or graduates that are out in industry right now. And the jobs vary from installation to maintenance to operations to design. And so the salary ranges vary quite a bit. The general entry level salary is in and around $50,000. But then if you're going up to like, let's say a 5G specialist, which a couple of our students end up being, to start off with, can go up to 80 to 90,000 to get started. So there's a lot of different opportunities, and depending on what additional skills you bring to the table on top of, so like for example your communication skills, the way to present, all of those things also determine what kind of salaries you get coming out of the program.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That's great. Imran, can you tell us a little bit more about your students and where they're going after they've completed the program?
Sure. So my program is a new program. It's 3 years since we launched the program. So I do not have the exact numbers, but I do know based on our LinkedIn following, the 3 areas where most of my graduates end up are in software development, cloud solution architects, and DevOps engineers. In those 3 areas, if you end up working as a solutions architect, you're looking somewhere between mid 85s, 85, mid 80s range of a sort of a salary. But then it doesn't end there if you go extra mile, because what we do in the program is that, sure, we give you the academic skills, but along with that, we also go a bit extra as well. So that is, we ask our students to prepare for certifications. Get a AWS certification, get a Microsoft Azure certifications. If you picked up 1 or 2 certification along the way, and then you can easily be making a good money coming out of this program. But again, the areas where majority of the students end up are as the software developers, solutions architect, and DevOps engineers.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Ravinder Paul, can you tell us a little bit more about where your students are going after they've completed their programs?
So some of the students, they got hired by the same company for which they do a capstone project. So that is actually my goal of doing that capstone industry-based finding a sponsor. That's why I advise them to choose a sponsor for which they want to work for. So that's the thing. It means they'll go, and then most of my students, they find a job mainly in a software development, web development, data analyst, analytics, and those kind of positions. And all of my, if I say most of my basically graduates, they are able to find the job. Some of them are teaching as a part-time partial load back into this program. Some of my students, they are working at a level of vice presidents in the banks as well. So means they are at a very good positions, making very good salary somewhere. I will say average salary is somewhere 100,000 plus.
Okay, and that's starting right after graduation or a few
It's
years in?
right after graduation.
Wow, that's
They
great.
start 80 to 100,000. That's what they go.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Francis, I know the AI program is new, so I'm not sure if you have any data as yet, but where do you see students potentially maybe going into?
Well, I mean, every AI is like a pop culture word now. So every organization is looking to build large language learning models like ChatGPT into their practices. And so our students are finding opportunities in many sectors, right? You can imagine the traditional high tech, but the students we have a faculty member who actually is a supervisor at the Toronto Police Services, right? And we have another director of strategic, not Toronto Police Services, Peel Regional Police, pardon me. And we have others that teach from police organizations in our programs. And why I say that is because justice and police services need AI. When you look at things like crime data over the course of 30 years, and you're trying to predict where should I send social service workers, where should I send police officers to patrol? Well, leveraging AI to manage those large data sets is critical. And so we're finding our students are now going into sectors that you might not traditionally think of, right? You may think I'm going to go to Google or IBM or Microsoft or some startup, which is great, but you may go into healthcare, right? You may go into policing. You may work for the government. So the nice thing about this certificate is that it gives students sort of that cutting edge AI skill set that allows them to go into an organization and hit the ground running. And I would say that the salaries are very competitive, and many of our students are, organizations are in desperate need for the students from this program. And so it's not that difficult for them to transition to the workplace. And the salaries are consistent with what Professor Ravinder Paul said, right, previously. So, yeah.
And I'm even seeing, I think I was seeing online recently, like they're using AI in the classroom and for teaching and sort of engaging students. So again, as mentioned, like it's fast what's available out there.
And if you're interested in AI, all of our programs are amazing, but if you're interested in AI, this is the right program at the right time. Because what you're going to see in the marketplace over time is saturation, lots of programs, lots of people with those skill sets. So the nice thing about what Humber has is it's a very unique offering that's very focused on building experts in that space, and there's a market demand for those experts at this time.
Perfect, thank you. And Francis, I'll start with you. And again, the program is fairly new, but I'm not sure, maybe it does. Does it have the opportunity or students going on and I don't know if we have any articulated agreements, or are they going on and getting different certifications after they've completed the program, or can they if they choose to do so?
Yeah, at this point in time, the AI program is a standalone program, but we're always in conversations about how, like many of our graduate certificates, we're in conversations about how we can potentially transition students into potential master's degrees at different organizations. But at this point in time, there's nothing, to my understanding, that's formalized in this particular program.
Okay, great, thank you. Ravinder Paul?
Yeah.
So are students going on, because your program has been around for a while, I believe. So I'm sure, do you know of any students who've gone on to do their master's or maybe some professional certifications that they've gone into?
they don't go and do certifications, but they go to do their master's program.
Great.
But even those who are going for masters, those are very few. The reason is because when they are just finishing the program, they find a job. And they are more than happy with that job. And in addition to that, if they want to do some part-time teaching and so on, they can come back and contact us. And then if we have some basically requirement, we'll do it. So I don't have a data regarding continuing studies, means they are moving forward. But I have given a reference for a couple of students last semester. They applied for master's program, but not too many.
Yeah, which makes sense. But I think sometimes when we're speaking to students and we're out there recruiting, the fact that the possibility to move on, even if they don't necessarily do it, I think that's
they can,
and
they
to
can
know that
do
they're doing
the,
that is great.
They can do the masters. There is no issue, means they can continue from here to the master's program. And still, I will say that is again on their choice. For example, if I say there is a university right here, Algoma University in Canada, and they have a 1-year master's program, and they can get exemption from some of the courses and may be able to do maybe in 6 months that master's program.
Okay. Great. Perfect. Thank you. Imran?
So for my program, one pathway that students can explore after completing this program is continue their studies at Humber. What they like to do is they like to package the cloud computing program with the AI and ML program. Cloud and AI, they are a natural match. So that's one area they explore. And essentially, if you look at the AI ML, it's a subset of a cloud service. So it's coming out of a cloud service. Everything that we do in the AI ML, essentially those models are computed and they run behind the cloud services. So cloud and AI, they are a natural match. So that's one area many of the students they like to pursue. Then we do have a partnership with the Northeastern University in downtown Toronto, where many of our grads, they pursue their master's degrees in informatics at Northeastern University. So I have seen a few students going there. I filled up some recommendations as well, and where they actually pursue their deeper knowledge into the cloud architectures, cloud securities, those who wants to architect solutions for the big organizations, larger enterprises. So they go for the master's degree.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And Kevin?
Yeah, so in terms of what students do in terms of continuing studies, is that the wireless program is a good program to bundle with the cloud computing program. So a lot of students require a second 2 programs, 2 years worth. A lot of international students require 2 years of programming to get a 3-year work permit. And so generally a lot of students from our program finish our program first, and then they go on to do the cloud computing program, which gives them a nice rounded background to enter and succeed in the telecommunications field. Some of our other students go on to do their masters, and there's a number of master's programs in and around the Toronto area that our students have gone on to. Overall, though, when you look at any of the graduate certificates, they do a very good job of preparing you for employment. All 4 of these programs do a superb job of preparing you for employment. So there's always the opportunity to enter into employment right after completing the program.
Yeah, which is fine and great. I know all of our programs are like that, but then students, when we're speaking to them and we're out there talking to them, sometimes they do ask, and sometimes the ability to go on and continue their studies, whether they choose to do so or not, can be a really, really great selling point. And next, Kevin, I'm going to start with you, and that's scholarships and awards. Can you speak to any scholarships and awards that are available within your program?
Yeah, so then overall, when we look at in terms of scholarships and awards, and I think this applies for all of the programs here, is that we have a large donor that's associated with our applied research area called Barrett, and Barrett provides a number of scholarships per year of, I'm not exactly sure how many, it's in and around the hundreds mark per year for students, and generally they're achievement based, and so that's one set of scholarship opportunities that are available to all students. And then for the wireless program in particular, we have 3 different scholarships that are available to students that are sponsored by our industry members.
Great, that's great. That's good to know. And Imran, do you have anything to add to this, like the scholarships and awards, maybe specific to your program?
Unfortunately, at this point, because we just recently launched the program, we don't have a program-specific scholarships, but our students do have access to the large number of scholarships that are coming out of Merit and Faculty of Applied Science Technology. And one thing that I do is I encourage my student to apply for those scholarships, and every semester where possible. So they do have access to the generic scholarships that are available to us.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Ravinder Paul, any specific ones or more so the ones from Barrett?
It's same, whatever Kevin said. We have more from the Barrett, but one of our faculty actually, he basically expired a few years back. So his family is also giving one scholarship on his name to recognize him, and that is again as merit based. So that's an additional $1,000 scholarship for the students of this program.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so staying relevant. So Ravinder Paul, I'm going to start with you. How do we keep, and I know you've been the PC for these programs for a very long time, and you can tell that you're super passionate about your programs. How do we keep our programs relevant? Like, what do we do to make sure that our programs are always relevant, and that when students go out, like what they've studied, it's sort of what they'll need to keep going?
Yeah, so there is a 2 ways I'm keeping it relevant. Number one is the PAC. We have an advisory committee. So we meet twice a year, or if not possible to meet in person or whatever, I just send them a questionnaire to get the responses. And based upon that, try to update the basically the program content and so revise it. And second thing is based upon our alumni's feedback, means who are currently working in the industry, and they are also teaching us. They also provide us, okay, we can basically improve this course like this. So based upon all these feedbacks, I try to stay current within my program.
Great, thank you so much. And Imran, can you tell us a little bit more? Your program is fairly new, so I assume it's like, but I'm sure you're always looking at different ways to make sure that it stays relevant.
Yes. So then I basically for the last 3 years, what we have been doing is we have been doing a couple of things here. One is every year we got Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. They have a summit here in downtown Toronto or nearby. So I always like to have my students go into participate into those summits and get involved and be part of those networking events. So that's one. Second is what I like to do is from time to time invite industry professionals to come in and deliver guest lectures. In fact, I had one guest lecture this week coming in discussing a solution which was being deployed in the US in partnership with Google. So that's another way for us to be industry relevant and sharing those experiences with our students. And then lastly, we have a PAC. We meet twice a year. We met last night, so I had just had my PAC last night. My PAC members are from Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Sun Life, Deloitte, all the major organizations. So they provide their insights on the current trends and latest technologies. Basically, one thing we have done last night is we actually looked into building a container-based course where basically we adopt to a technology because what's happening is in the cloud market is that every now and then you have this new technology coming in. So how do you keep up with those technologies?
Right, yeah.
It's very difficult. So we introduced a container-based course. So now that given that we got this AI buzzword going around, so we're going to bring in that and put it in there. And then I'm foreseeing that in 6 months, we'll probably be seeing a quantum computing. So it'll be easy for us to just move it into it. So that's
great.
that's how we have been keeping up with what's going on in the industry.
That's great. I think this is the first time I've actually heard this model being used, where you just have like a course and it's basically for like maybe like anything that's new or trending and putting in it. No, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Kevin, can you tell us more about how you and your program stay relevant?
Yeah, well, so we also use the program advisory committee process, and the great thing about the program advisory committee program for committee for the wireless program is that it's a very, very diverse program advisory committee from all aspects of the industry with respect to the providers like the Rogers, Telus, and Bell. So those are the three main telecom companies within the Canadian marketplace. But we also include all the different parts of the industry as well, which include like equipment sales and contractors and other companies that use wireless technologies to create their systems. So overall, we've got a very passionate and useful program advisory committee meeting that really keeps everything up to date.
Perfect, great, thank you. And next, I want you to speak, and I think some of you spoke to this before, but what benefit does it bring to our programs that so many of our faculty have industry connections? Like, how does that benefit our students? So that whether it's employment or networking opportunities, like how does having being relevant, how does that these industry connected faculty, how does that help help the student?
Definitely. So for the wireless program, I think about half of our faculty are working full-time within industry and are teaching part-time within the program. So then those people are very well connected through their companies to their overall company, and it provides opportunities for our students to get into those companies and understand what the internal processes and challenges they're facing right now, and then and those faculty keep up to date so that they can bring their challenges to the classroom so that students can learn what's happening in the industry right now. The other faculty members, for example, myself, the full-time faculty are constantly connected with industry. We, like, even just before this meeting, I was in a meeting with a couple industry members just talking about some of the challenges they've had with fiber installation. Just little things like that, and being always connected to the people in industry allows us to accommodate changes to our program, keep it relevant, and also provide employment opportunities after.
Great, thank you. And Imran, if you have anything else to add.
Sure, absolutely. So many of my faculties in the cloud computing program, they work in the industry. What's happening is a lot of those faculty, they actually bring in the challenges they face in the cloud, because obviously cloud, it's not a mature technology yet. I mean, it's about 15 years into this technology, many challenges. So one beauty of having those industry connected faculty is to bring in those everyday challenges into the classrooms, and they look at it from a different lens and share that with the students. And that's a whole new learning experience for our students, because they're seeing it as firsthand here in the classroom. So that's amazing way. Now those who are full-time faculty within the program, myself, and there's another great fellow of mine who is connected with the B2C lab, which is the 4K signal lab at Humber and at the Barrett Center. And myself, I'm a partner. I am connected with Amazon Web Services. I'm their Amazon Partner Networks, connected with the Amazon Partner Networks, where basically Amazon share the exclusives to some of the challenges to the academia world because my affiliation with Amazon Academies and their partner networks. So again, this allows full-time faculties to share with our students the relevant experience.
Right, perfect, thank you. And Ravinder Paul, do you have anything to add?
I will just say three things.
Okay.
Number one, it basically is F&D industry based. My students has to serve the industry. So it means with the industry connected faculty, they are bringing in three things. Number one, if there is any job opportunity in their company or a hiring, they are sharing with them directly. Second thing is they are helping them in getting a capstone project. If they need any capstone project, they are supporting in that. Third thing is they are sharing what's happening in latest in the industry right now. So they are able to share the current IT trends in the market. So that's the three benefits they are getting from the industry connected faculty. That's why most of my alumni, they are coming back, teaching one or the other course and providing us a feedback, sharing direct experience, challenges with the students in the classroom.
Perfect, great, thank you. And next, Ravinder Paul, I'll start with you. And I know some of you mentioned this already, but research is, I'm sure, a huge part of this faculty. Can you speak on any pieces or I know the capstone projects, obviously, but any research projects that students do or participate in?
Of course, that's where they are hired as a research assistant or analyst. I don't know what the title is. So we have a few projects which are some of the faculty are undertaking, and they are getting answered grants and so on. So as a result, they do a student interviews. They recruit the students for those projects. As a result, the students are working as a research assistant with the faculty, doing those research with them, and also getting paid for those research.
Okay, great. Yeah. And do you have any examples of the type of research that's being done, or maybe not?
We haven't finished that project. This is with the it's still going on. It is a big project, a couple of $1 million project going on with the MHIRJ industry. MHIRJ, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Imran?
I don't have the full information, but I do know there's one of my students, he's currently working at a Barrett Center on a research project, which involves the IoT devices, Industry 4.0. Currently, he is extracting the information which was loaded into a database from the IoT devices. He's building the dashboards, and as well as he's also developing an application which leverages the AI algorithms to build an intelligence into systems, which will essentially detect when that particular sensor is going to hit its life cycle, end of its life. So he's currently working on this project, and it's I would say cutting edge of research that's happening there in the data center.
Great, thank you. Kevin?
Yeah, so within the Barrett Center, so the Barrett Center is our applied research building, and where a lot of our applied research comes through. The wireless program has an anechoic chamber in there along with a data center. So we've got a very big research facility. From the wireless program, there has been a number of different grants that have originated. One has been the B2C Center, which is the Broadband Convergence Research Project, which is which is a research project where we're taking broadcast technologies and seeing what kind of additional features you can put on top of a broadcast signal, and it's using going into the details. I don't really want to go into the details of the technology, but there's a number of projects that come out of that, and also there's a lot of other projects that come out with respect to projects with Cisco and a lot of smaller companies, local companies that are developing their products. The wireless program assists in a lot of those developments.
Okay, great, thank you. And I think that's the last question. And I'm going to just open this up. Does anyone have any final thoughts? Maybe something we haven't covered as part of the questions that we've offered, or anything that you want to say just to sort of wrap things up about your program or about the industry that students may be going into after.
Kevin, you are on mute.
Yeah, I'm first. Sorry. Yeah. Overall, the wireless program is an excellent program to provide yourself with a really good starting point here, and it gets you into the door. It gives you some really good skills in order to launch your career. And the jobs that come out of it are generally very, very stable, that you can work in a number of different industries, not only the telecom industry, but a lot of the, for example, when you look at the automotive industry, there's a lot of stuff that require the skill sets that you learn within from the wireless program. Also, a lot of our students end up working in industries outside of telecom, for example, in the banking sector, insurance, the government, and they've been doing very, very well for themselves after they've graduated. So there's a lot of students that are now vice presidents and directors within large companies, and they've been doing very well. So we provide a lot of opportunity to students after they graduate.
Great, thank you, Kevin. Anyone else?
Yeah,
so go ahead,
for me, I will say the information technology solutions, it's for those who want a change in their career. They don't have an IT background, but they have a passion for IT. As long as they have a bachelor degree and a passion for IT, they would be successful in this program, and this program is for them. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Imran, no pressure.
For me, cloud computing, let me sum it up in this way, that everything is going to be moved to the cloud, and it's going to be there for decades to come. So if you are looking for stable career, this is an area for you, because I can say from healthcare to software development to wireless, you name it, everything is going to be in the cloud. And this is an area, if you love to learn new technologies, if you learn to play with the system levels, components, it's an area to be in, and you'll have a bright future in this area.
Great. And I'm going to ask a question, and this is a bit off the cuff. I just thought about this, and I'm seeing it a lot more and more. I'm seeing where companies like Google are offering like these small courses, or you can go to Udemy and get these different courses. And sometimes people question, like, why should I come to a program and take it for 8 months, right? Like, why can't I just go and like do this, this course online, or this like maybe a smaller micro credential or something else? Like, what benefit do students have by going through a full structured program? And anybody can take this. This is just me being curious, because when I'm going out and speaking to students, these are some of the questions I have to address when I'm going out there. And I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin.
So always when you look at any of these programs, what is in there is context. And so when you're looking at any of these programs, it really builds a great foundation for learning first. And because we're education-based learning, we're building a foundation that you can grow from. So a lot of the things that you do on Udemy or whatever, those are picking up like one-off skills, and then you have to kind of orchestrate what skills go together and then order them and figure out what is important. And so sometimes that takes a lot of time to do, and it's not very easy to follow. This way, you've got a pathway that's already orchestrated for you, that it provides you with ways of comprehending things a lot easier, so that when you need to do future learning, all of these programs provide a greater platform for future learning afterwards.
Actually, I would like to add one thing.
And I think a piece that I see. Yeah, go ahead.
One more thing, because when we put together these programs, we put the related courses together. So as a result, you are getting breadth as well as a depth of the knowledge.
Right.
And those small courses, they are just focusing on one thing without looking into anything breadth and depth. So it means they have the little objective. So it means if you just want to get that skill, you can join it. And I don't know the whoever is basically providing that. How basically here we are providing a support to the students. We are providing them a learning. They can ask us questions. We are there to help them get out of their issues and so on. And on those courses, it's an online, so you go through those slides and do the assignments, do the quizzes, that's it, done. So it means I don't see much of the support kind of things available if you're doing those courses.
And a piece that I want to add is the quality assurance piece. So we know for us, like as Humber College, we have to make sure and go through that our programs meet a certain standard. We have to go through and make sure our courses meet certain standards, and that, like, so that quality assurance piece, sometimes when you're just looking at a course or something, oh, well, this is free, or it's well, it's something at maybe it's $19.99, that quality assurance piece is in there. You're not sure exactly what you're going to be getting.
Yeah, that's true.
Great. And Karina, you had your hand up. Did you have something to add?
I have a question, actually. So I realize that these programs are graduate programs. So what would you recommend to a high school student that's interested in pursuing these graduate programs? Like, what is a feeder program that you would recommend if they're not sure which one they want to take? I guess let's start with maybe cloud computing. What would be an ideal program for someone to take if they want to end up taking that course later on?
Great question.
Sure. So thank you, Karina, for asking this question. Because yes, I do get many queries from domestic students, high school students. They're keen on learning cloud, but where to start off with, right? So what program to go into that'll take them to the cloud. So few programs that we offer at Humber. They include computer programming and analysis program, computer system technician program, computer engineering technology programs, any diploma program that is literally under the ICT cluster would lead you to the cloud computing program. Many of the students that I have in the cloud computing program, they have taken one of this program and they moved for the cloud program. Great computing.
And Ravinder Paul, what would you recommend?
Actually,
high school student.
Yeah, high school students, I don't know whether they may have a passion at this moment for IT or not. So as a result, I will say go take any diploma, degree, whatever you basically want to. And then if they feel like after that, okay, yes, I want to go into the IT field and here, they can come join us here. And we will help them to transition from non-IT to an IT field.
Okay. And Kevin?
Yeah, so for our program, if you have something like an electronics background or a network background, so then that's the computer network support technician or the electronics diploma. Those are good programs that feed into our program.
Perfect. Great question, Karina. Thank you so much for asking that. And thank you to our panelists. you can stick around, we're going to get into how, if someone's interested in these programs, how they can get started. But if you can stick around at the end, if there are any questions, maybe you can help answer those questions. So next, Karina, I'm going to have you come on, and maybe you can introduce yourself and let us know who you are and tell us how students can get started in these amazing programs.
Thanks, Risha. My name is Karina Kunanen, and I am one of the admissions officer at Humber College. My main focus is actually the Faculty of Applied Technology, which all of you have already heard today. So the cloud computing, wireless, artificial, and also information technology. These are some of the programs that I look after. So for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm just going to go through just the process application, how you can be, accepted into a program, what the next steps are. And in between, if you have any questions, feel free to just, send me a quick email at admissions@humber.ca. Thanks. So the first thing you need to do is that if you are interested in any programs at Humber, you do have to apply to OntarioColleges.ca. So right now, what I recommend for you to do is maybe go into a Humber website and check out the program that you're interested in. And our website is very self-navigation. So basically, when you select a program, you'll see a little tab that says how to apply. Just click on that and it'll bring you right back to OCAS. OCAS is a very basic application. It's easy navigation. So you select 3 programs in one college, and those 3 programs can be either a September intake, a January intake, or a May intake. And as a lot of the program coordinators have shared, some of these intakes do have online delivery and some have consecutive terms that go through. So information that you need to know is actually provided for you on our website. And also on this page, you'll notice like with this particular page, you'll see the admissions requirement. I do recommend that you look at this because it does identify what you need as far as the credentials. It'll also indicate to you what the cutoffs are when it comes to English proficiency, because if you have international credentials, you do have to get evaluated. So even though you're a domestic student, you still have to get your evaluation done. And information where you can get this done can actually be found under admissions requirement. All you have to do is just click on the link that says WES, which is World Evaluation Services, or ICAS, which is International Credential Assessment Services. So one or the other will give you information on how to submit your documents to get evaluated. The reason being for doing that is that we want to make sure that the credentials that you have taken outside Canada is going to be equivalent to what we're looking for as far as the requirements. And as far as English proficiency, you're all probably wondering, how does that work for someone that's never studied here? We do encourage you to look at the test that we would accept, which is IELTS. We look at Duolingo, we look at some of the MALAB, but these are information that you can find under the admissions requirement. Next page, please. So if and when you apply, you submit your WES evaluation, the admissions office, which is myself, we will review your application, we will review your credential, we'll also look at your English proficiency, and if you meet all 3, obviously you'll get an offer of admissions. And we have gone paperless now, so any admissions, communications, offers, missing requirements will always be sent to you by email. We always encourage students to check their My Humber account because once in a while, these emails will go to your spam or junk folder. So please, again, double check all your folders. So for those that actually get congratulations email, it will identify what program, what intake, and what delivery. So if you've decided to choose the online course or the on-site, that will just be specific to your letter. Now, we also encourage you that once you get that offer of admissions, please check your confirmation due date, because for some of the programs that are highly competitive, if you do miss the actual confirmation due date, there is a risk that you will lose your seat. However, if it's one of those programs that you're not sure which one to select, feel free to reach out to the program coordinator to discuss, what your options are. And if you're still not sure whether or not you want to confirm by May 1st, let us know and we can see what we can do about your offer. Now, as far as paying your deposit does not allow you to register. So the $250 will secure your seat, but to register for your classes, you have to pay your full tuition balance. And that information will be given to you when you get your offer of admission. It will say pay the deposit. Click here. It'll also tell you pay your full balance. Click here. Now, when you pay your full balance, it'll give you options on what you can do for those that may not be financially able to do that. It'll give you like the payment plan. It'll give you the financial aid option. So these are things that will be shared with you on the offer email. Again, if you have any questions regarding your offer, feel free to reach out to admissions@humber.ca. And as far as register for classes, again, this will only happen once you pay your full tuition. And if anything that you need to know about how to pay it, you're not familiar on how to pay this online, whether or not we take debit or we take credit card, those are information that you can actually send to us and we can help you with that information as well. Next page. Oh,
Karina, before we move on,
oh,
yes,
sure.
before we move on, I had a question. For students, so we mentioned that some programs have an in-person and an online option.
Mhm.
If
Yep.
students aren't sure which option they want to choose right away, should they apply for both
Yes, you'll
and get
have to
accepted to
apply. Yep.
both and then decide
Mhm.
later on?
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
like I'm sure, can they switch, like say they picked online and now they've changed their mind, it's August,
Yep.
and now they want in person, would they
Yeah.
have to then go back and apply?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so if that is the case, Rishit, that was a good question, is that they can apply for on-site and also in person. And again, a lot of the programs that were shared with you today, you do have those options now. So, and again, you don't know exactly where you're going to be in September.
Mhm.
So I encourage you to apply for both on-site and in person. And then at the time when you actually start paying your deposit, hopefully by then you'll decide what you want to do. Yep.
Great, thank you.
Ravinder, you had a question?
Yeah, Karina, I also have a question. It is regarding the payment.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, let's say I can only pay 50% of my tuition fee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't have any more money right now.
Okay.
So what are my options?
So, like I was sharing earlier, so basically when you get the offer of admission, the student will have the option to pay the full balance. And we have the payment plan. So if the person can only pay, let's say 50%, they have to identify they can only pay 50% by going into the payment plan option, and we'll share with them what they need to do and who to contact regarding the balance of their tuition.
Because the reason I asked, because I just got a big email today. The student is saying, I'm unable to pay the required amount of tuition fee
Yeah.
by the due date.
Yeah.
So I haven't gone through this whole email,
Mhm.
what actually he is asking
Mhm.
for.
Okay.
And that's why I just asked that question. Means
Yeah.
if somebody is not able to or cannot afford to pay,
Mhm.
so what are his or her options?
Okay, so the information I share with you, Ravinder, is actually for the domestic. As far as if they are, and what I encourage for you to maybe respond to is maybe find out if the student is international, because if it is an international applicant that is having difficulty in paying the full tuition, that is a different financial arrangement. I would encourage them to speak to one of the international student services and maybe make an appointment on how they can pay that tuition. As far as the domestic applicants, they have the financial aid pathway that they can go through. They also have what we call the payment plan option. So these are things that are available for our domestic. International, maybe a little bit different. So I would encourage you to maybe reach out and say it's best to reach out to the international if that is an applicant that's coming from the international office.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. And let's see here, next steps. Yeah, I think that's it, Karina. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
So next steps, we have one more session taking place tomorrow. So if you're interested in sort of checking that session out, you can scan this QR code. It will take you to the Power Up Your Credential webpage, and you can register for that session. And as mentioned, we are going to be having other events coming up. So we have the Pathways Fair coming up as well. So keep an ear and eye out for that. And also we're going to be running more of these sessions again in the winter. So we usually run these in February, March, April for students who are hoping to start in May or hoping to start next September. And it'll be more than 6 sessions because again, we're going to be trying to focus on our degrees and our grad certs. And finally, thank you. I'm going to open it up for questions right now. If you are interested in starting at Humber in the winter semester and you haven't applied as yet, or even for next fall, we do have some available. Obviously, it's going to be based on what's available, how many vouchers are left, but feel free to scan this QR code and fill in your information if you haven't applied to the program and you're hoping to in the future. So are there any questions from our audience? Okay, I guess all our questions were answered during the presentation. So perfect, that's great. So with that, I'm going to actually close the session. Thank you so much to all of our panelists. This was amazing. Oh, we have one. Wait, hold on. One moment. Let me unmute. I think you can unmute yourself. Can you see if you're able to use audio?
Hello.
Yes, there you go.
All right. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. My name is Isaac, speaking from Ghana. Okay, so I want clarification on the
Sorry, Isaac, we can't seem to hear you anymore. Isaac, I think it seems to have cut out your audio. Yeah, it's not working. So Isaac, if you can put your question in the chat and I'll be able to read it out loud for the recording and also for the PCs as well. Isaac? Okay, so Isaac is having some technical difficulties. I'll wait a few more seconds here. Isaac, if you can put your question in the chat, we will try best to answer that question for you.
Hello.
Oh, yes.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I had an internet interruption. So I was asking about the evaluation of my credentials. When I was submitting my application, I wasn't asked or there was no requirement for the evaluation. So if it can be clarified, I'll be very grateful.
Yes, I think, Isaac, I think you're an international student. So I think when Karina was referring to having your credentials evaluated, that's for the domestic students. So students who are domestic, so Canadian or permanent residents, etc. With international students, you do not have to get that that evaluation done at this point in time. Hopefully that clarifies things.
Yeah, and I have one final question. And this goes to the admissions office. I applied on 25th October, sorry, and I had to change my program by sending an email on 8th November. So I want to know if the 10 weeks for decision to be made on my program, if the 10 weeks for the decision to be made on my program would be on the initial application date or when I requested for a change in program?
That's a great question, and that would be for the international department. So if you go to humber.ca/international, there's a contact button. Submit that question, and they'll be able to assist. So one of the contact, I forgot what there's the specific term is for them, but in their contact center, we'll be able to let you know, and maybe even help you follow up to see where your application is at based on that change.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much. Thank you to all of our presenters. It's been so great learning more about these programs. This information helps us not only as recruiters, but as we're going to be posting this and it's going to be on YouTube, etc. We're hoping that it will have a wider reach and people can learn more about why our programs are excellent and why they should be starting here at Humber with us, hopefully very, very soon. So thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Risha.